Abraham moved south to the Negev and lived for a while between Kadesh and Shur, and then he moved on to Gerar. While living there as a foreigner, Abraham introduced his wife, Sarah, by saying, "She is my sister." So King Abimelech of Gerar sent for Sarah and had her brought to him at his palace. But that night God came to Abimelech in a dream and told him, "You are a dead man, for that woman you have taken is already married." But Abimelech had not slept with her yet, so he said, "Lord, will you destroy an innocent nation? Didn't Abraham tell me, 'She is my sister'?" And she herself said, "Yes, he is my brother. I acted in complete innocence. My hands are clean." In the dream, God responded, "Yes, I know you are innocent. That's why I kept you from sinning against me, and why I did not let you touch her. Now return the woman to her husband, and he will pray for you, for he is a prophet. Then you will live. But if you don't return her to him, you can be sure that you and all your people will die." Abimelech got up early the next morning and quickly called all his servants together. When he told them what had happened, his men were terrified. Then Abimelech called for Abraham. "What have you done to us?" he demanded. "What crime have I committed that deserves treatment like this, making me and my kingdom guilty of this great sin? No one should ever do what you have done. Whatever possessed you to do such a thing?" Abraham replied, "I thought, this is a godless place. They will want my wife and will kill me to get her. And she really is my sister, for we both have the same father but different mothers, and I married her. When God called me to leave my father's home and to travel from place to place, I told her, 'Do me a favor. Wherever we go, tell the people that I am your brother.' Then Abimelech took some of his sheep and goats, cattle and male and female servants, and he presented them to Abraham. He also returned his wife Sarah to him. Then Abimelech said, 'Look over my land and choose any place where you would like to live.' And he said to Sarah, 'Look, I am giving your brother 1,000 pieces of silver in the presence of all these witnesses. This is to compensate you for any wrong I may have done to you. This will settle any claim against me, and your reputation is clear.' Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed Abimelech, his wife, and his female servants, so they could have children. For the Lord had caused all the women to be infertile because of what happened with Abraham's wife, Sarah.
Welcome to your deep dive. Buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into the book of Genesis, chapter 20, to be exact.
Yeah, get ready for some serious family drama. Oh, and a surprising amount of livestock. Always with the livestock.
It's wild, right? But it really makes you think. We're talking about deception, cultural clashes, and even some divine intervention.
It's a fascinating glimpse into how ancient civilizations viewed morality, power dynamics.
And what happens when you tell a little white lie? Or, a big one.
Right, exactly. So, to set the stage, we've got our main players, Abraham, Sarah, his wife, and Abimelech, the king of Gerar.
And Abraham and Sarah, they kind of wander into Abimelech's territory. I mean, can you imagine just showing up in a whole different kingdom?
Talk about awkward. But here's where it gets juicy. Abraham, he's a little worried about their safety, so he decides to tell everyone that Sarah is actually his sister.
His sister, not his wife. Bold move, right.
It really is. I mean, today we'd be like, dude, seriously. But in ancient cultures, it wasn't totally unheard of. Marrying within your own tribe or even your immediate family was pretty common.
Interesting. So maybe it was a way to protect Sarah, like a cultural loophole.
Exactly. Claiming that sibling status. Yeah. It might have been a way to avoid conflict, make Abimelech think twice about any romantic interests.
So kind of a strategic move, maybe. But here's the thing. This isn't even the first time Abraham's pulled this stunt. Remember that whole thing with Pharaoh in Egypt?
Oh, yeah, history repeating itself. It makes you wonder if Abraham was just bad at geography or...
Or maybe he thought it was a foolproof plan. I mean, it worked the first time. But seriously, it highlights the kind of dangers people faced back then, especially if you were seen as, wealthy or powerful.
Absolutely. Strangers were often viewed with suspicion. Abraham's actions, even if we question them now, they reflect a survival instinct in a world where, you couldn't just call 911.
Right. No social contracts, no security systems. It's a whole different ballgame. Okay, so Abraham's told this, let's say, half-truth. What happens next?
Well, Abimelech, being king, he takes a liking to Sarah. You can probably guess where this is going.
Oh,
But before anything happens, something incredible occurs. God steps in.
drama. Cue the heavenly choir.
Right, and get this. God sends Abimelech a message in a dream.
Okay, hold on. Dreams were a big deal back then, right?
Huge. In ancient cultures, they were seen as a direct line to the divine. So for God to communicate with Abimelech this way, very serious.
So what's the message? Does God say, Abimelech, what are you doing?
Pretty much. The text makes it clear that Abimelech is innocent in his intentions, but God's laying down the law, protecting Sarah, and showing that he's very much a part of this story.
It really makes you think about how people interpreted their own morality and ethics back then, you know. Was it a gut feeling, a direct message from a higher power? What do you think?
It's a question that scholars are still debating today. And it really speaks to the heart of faith, doesn't it?
Absolutely. But going back to the story, how does Abimelech react when he finds out the truth?
Oh, he's understandably upset. I mean, who wouldn't be? But here's the thing. Despite being lied to, he acts incredibly generously towards Abraham. Gives him gifts, sends him on his way.
Really? That's so unexpected.
It is, and it gives us even more to think about. Was Abimelech being charitable? Or was it more about saving face, maintaining peace?
Fascinating. We've got deception, divine intervention, and a whole lot of questions about responsibility and forgiveness.
It's a story that challenges us to examine our own moral compasses. How would we react in these situations?
Would we be the Abraham willing to bend the truth for safety? Or the Abimelech grappling with forgiveness? It's something to ponder.
And it reminds us that even these ancient texts, they offer nuanced perspectives on what it means to be human, to grapple with right and wrong, especially in a world where the lines aren't always so clearly defined.
Exactly, and that's something that continues to resonate even thousands of years later.